Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and here I am with another video on React Native series. And today's topic is the touchables. Okay, so you have these buttons in your mobile where you will touch and you have these events running in, right? So you click on some button and something happened to that, or it will react with some output or some response to you, right? So we will learn all of that today, how to do that in your mobile applications, okay, while developing. So all kind of buttons we will learn today, like basic buttons, touchable highlights, and then we learn about long press event, okay, which is very much interesting when you work with iOS or even Android nowadays. So we have this touchable opacity, which will help you to do little more tweaks with your buttons, and then we have this touchable without feedback. Okay, so all of these buttons we will learn today, so stay tuned in this video till the end. And guys, subscribe to this channel and press that bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming videos. So let's move forward. So as you see, we already have this component, which is handle touches.js. okay, so we have already created so that we can save some time, and now we have imported that component into the app.js. okay, so now let's move forward and start creating the very first basic button. Okay, so in order to use the basic button, you have to import this button from React Native. Okay, as soon as you import, you should provide this title so that you display some text on your device. Okay, so let's say we will just give one particular name, basic button. Okay, so once we give, you will notice there is a button, but it do not look like the button because it has the default styling which is provided by iOS or Android. It may look different in different devices. Okay, but yeah, this is the basic style you have. So now as we have this button ready, but we don't have any response to this, like we don't have any event attached to this. In order to attach the event, we have this on press event. So there are two way. One is you can define outside, like const handle button. Okay, and you can define the arrow function here. Okay, this is one way. You can say alert from React Native and say alert, and then whatever you wanted to say, hello button. Okay, so now this handler you can attach here. So once you attach, once you click on it, you will have this alert coming in, and this alert will be your native alert. Okay, it may be differ in Androids. Okay, so now if you click OK, it will go back. But yeah, now what you see, we have this event connected to this button, so whenever you click, it will respond to you. Okay, so now the other ways you can also do here directly. So you can just copy paste here and save. So what you notice, we have the similar kind of implementation. But yeah, I would always recommend to keep the events outside, because you will not be only doing alert, so you might be doing business logic or something else on that particular event. Okay, so this is one basic button and it has this feature. So now there are more buttons to it, like the another button we was talking about is this touchable highlights. Okay, this is another button, or you can say the wrapper provided by React Native, which will help us to style the buttons. Okay, you might have different kind of buttons. So what we can do, we can just start importing or start using that. So what we can do, we can quickly import this touchable highlights. Okay, so this we can import, and this have this view. So here you have the liberty to give your view and text so that it can easily showcase whatever you want, like press this highlight button. Okay, so we don't have any style right now as it is very plain, but we can start defining the style. So as we already have written some styling, so what we can do, we can destructure all of these. So what we can do, we can just say const and start destructuring our styling. So we have button, we have button text. Okay, so these two required right now, so I'll just quickly go and start styling here. So I'll say button and we'll say style button text. Okay, so once you save, you have this button coming in, right? So you can also define this container around this view. So you can just say view style, and this container definitely you have to basically destructure here. Okay, otherwise you will receive the error. Okay, so you have this button coming in, and once you click on it, you still don't see any kind of response. Okay, so in order to attach the event, so what we can do, we can just start writing on press. So on press can help you to attach the event with this. So as I said, we can just quickly define here itself. We can say console dot log, we will say pressed. Okay, so once we say that, you will, now you click on it, you have some response coming in. But what you see, this black color thing coming in, this is because of we have to define one prop here, which is like underlay color. Okay, so this color can be white because you see the background is white, so you can just pass the white color here, or you can say white, or you can say hash fff. So these three, right? So now you click, you will have some response, some little bit of white color coming in, right? You can also say transparent. Okay, so if you say transparent, then also we have this thing. So transparent you required when you actually uh, changing this particular background color on click or on press. So that's when this underlying color will start coming in the background. Okay, so let's say if it is different color than this, so you will just say F90. So what will happen when you click, it will start coming in here. So to avoid that situation, you can use this transparent, so that it will avoid that extra color coming in below your button. So this is very important. Okay, so you should know that. So now we know how to this press, and we have this pressed. So you can also convert this to something else. You can say alert dot alert. Okay, pressed. Okay, so this event can be anything. Now there is one more event, which is long press, on long press. Okay, on long press. So this particular event only trigger when you long press. Okay, so we can say alert dot alert, and we can say long pressed. Okay, so now if I long press this, so you see long press, and when I just click on it, it will say pressed. Okay, or I can say single pressed. Fine. So if I click now, it will be single pressed. If I long press, then it will be long pressed. Looks interesting, right? And now you can create little more buttons in your application and do this magic. Okay, so now next thing is touchable opacity, and that will also provide a couple of more features to you. So you can have this touchable opacity, and this also have similar kind of thing. You can say view with this style. Okay, and it has this style button, and then you can have this text. Okay, which we can say here opacity button, and we can style this button. Okay, so we can just say button style. Yeah, button text. So we have this opacity button. So whenever you press, right, so this has some response and feel of it, right? So once you click on it, automatically it has the feel, and it also has that on press event, so that you can capture user event. Okay, so you can quickly say alert dot alert, and then you can define your okay, so once you click on it, you have this opacity button pressed. But yeah, if you don't define that, you can just say console dot log, then you would be able to see more response, right? So you will see this response, and this response can be let's say you have a images, right? You, once you click on it, you wanted to give a feel of that opacity kind of thing. So that's when you will be using this kind of touchable opacities, because it has the flexibility along with the button feature. So it has the flexibility. You can also define image here, so that you feel it's, this image is actually responding to you. Okay, so now what more we have with this? So next thing we have is this touchable without feedback. Okay, without feedback. So this button will have the similar kind of thing, but yeah, this do not respond to it. Like, you might require some event to be there, but let's say you don't want it to give a feedback to your user. Let's say you don't want it to let him know you have clicked something, or you are passing some information from this screen. So that's when these kind of buttons will be useful. Okay, you will feel there is a just information, but whenever you touch, it will take your response. Okay, so you can have this text and you can say no response. Okay, so we have this button, and now we can start defining little bit of style. Okay, so we have this touch with no response. So, and we can just start on press on this. Okay, so we can on press, and we can just, okay, so now if you click on this, you have this no response, but you'll notice this button field will not change. Okay, if I change to console.log, okay, now if you click on this, right here you have the feedback. Here you don't have any kind of feedback, so user will not be able to notice if you are actually clicking on any kind of button. Okay, so this is the kind of use case we have on this. So now one more thing, like let's say you wanted to click and you wanted to change the color of this particular button. So what we can do, we can quickly define one state. So now as we created this state, how can we use it? So basically these buttons, right, which is touchable, highlights and all, this will provide you one more event. Okay, on press, which is on press in and on press out. So these two events will help us to basically have these two events, one when you press and when you leave the that particular button. Okay, so these two events will be there. On these two events we will be changing the state of this particular is press. So when we press in, we'll say yes, pressed. So basically we have to say true, and then we have to say false. Okay, on whenever we come out, so basically we have to return back to our old color. Okay, yeah. So now what we can do, as you know, whenever we define directly, so we have to just use this arrow function, otherwise it will throw error. Okay, yeah, so we have this thing coming in. So now if you click, right, so you will have the single press coming in, but so you can just convert to console.log so that we have this thing working fine for us. Yeah, so now you can see if the state is changing. So what you can do, you can quickly showcase this highlight button value here. Okay, so you can just say is pressed true or false. Okay, as it is boolean, it won't be showing to you, so you can just json.stringify, and then you should be able to see. Yeah, so once you click, it is turning to true. So now we can play around with this. So what we can do is we can quickly create one method. Okay, button style, and we can just quickly say if the pressed is true. Okay, so if it is true, we have this button. Okay, and we have one extra class which we have written, or extra style which we have already written, so which is on pressed. Basically on press, it will change the color to orange. Okay, so we can use this with this particular way, and then we can just say button. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is whenever somebody press, right, it will turn to true, and when it turn to true, we will use the existing style, and this particular style will replace the previous background color. So we have this background color here, right, blue, it will turn to orange. Okay, and whenever we leave, it will turn to false, and it will come back to their original state. Okay, so this button style we will be using it here. Okay, yeah. So now if you click on it, you have that feeling. Once you click, it will turn to orange, and if you long press, you will turn to long press. Okay, I think by now you should know how to use these buttons, and I believe you are learning with me. So please create more examples and share with me in comments, right? And I will be coming up with another video another 2 days. So till then, see you and take care. Bye bye. Keep coding, keep shining.